What's up guys, NepentheZ here and welcome back to another episode of the best team in FIFA. Today we're going to be taking a look at a full England team due to the fact that obviously I'm English and England qualified for the Euros with a perfect record of 10 wins from 10 games, scoring 31 goals, conceding just 3. I'm pretty positive that's one of the, if not the first time England have ever done that. Definitely in my lifetime, that's the first time they've done that. And it was good to see. Even though they didn't play the most crazy good football, they didn't, you know, destroy teams like they should have done. They did pick up the wins. They did the job they had to do, and it'll be interesting to see how far they can go once they get into the official Euros. So I've built a team that I think is going to play well in FIFA. It's got some really good players. It's got a lot of cheap players, a few expensive players. Before we get into this, you could drop a thumbs up on the video. That would be awesome. Let's try and get this over 7,000 likes. That will be absolutely epic. And if you guys want to link me one of your favorite teams in FIFA 16 so far and want me to do a video on it, then Twitter or Instagram, links are in the description below for that. Just link me your team. I take a look at pretty much every team that gets sent to me and I pick the ones that I like the look of. So this team looks like this. We've got Defoe and Welbeck up front. We've got Barkley in at cam. We've got Chamberlain and Young on the wings. Jordan Henderson in at CDM. Jagielka, Smalling, Walker and Gibbs in the defence with Joe Hart in net. So Joe Hart is the most expensive player in this team, coming in at about 24,000 coins. The team does lack a little bit in terms of skill moves. Only Oxlade-Chamberlain and Ashley Young have 4-star, no 5-star skillers. We've got Ross Barkley there with 5-star weak foot, 3-star skill moves. Could probably put Lallana in at cam. I think he still has 4-star skill moves. Used to have Sturridge, was on 4-star skill moves last year. Now he's only on 3-star. The reason why I went with Welbeck and Defoe, Welbeck's got crazy good pace, physical and dribbling for a striker. Finishing is decent as well. Shooting is very nice. And the 3-star is okay. And then I went with Jermaine Defoe because although he only has 77 pace, he has 85 shooting. So any chance you do get with Defoe, you should be putting in the back of the net. Hendo and Barkley in midfield, very nice duo there. Henderson, one of the better CDMs that you could get for England. England don't really have any good CDMs at all, unless you have to suffer for something like passing heavily or pace heavily. Henderson's like one of the most well-rounded midfielders we've got. And then Smalling, Jagielka, Walker and Gibbs, great defensive line, really good defending across the board. 83 for both the centre-backs, which is good. Physical could be a bit better on Smalling, but his pace makes up for what he lacks in physicality at 76. Gibbs and Walker very nice on the fullback positions, and Joe Hart in net. So I'm going to go and play in divisions, 5 games. We're going to see how this plays and whether or not you guys should test this out. Okay guys, as we go into the gameplay, as per usual, I'll show you the teams that I come up against and the goals that I score. So I've given this team an overall of 4-star. I was actually really impressed with the team, but as per the last couple of videos with the best team in FIFA, we're giving it harsher ratings this year because last year, especially towards the back end of FIFA, basically every team I made was 5-star, 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 and that's just not how FIFA works. So if you guys missed the exact way that everything happens now, go watch the last episode of the best team in FIFA, which is a 20k overpowered team, and you will get yourself a little bit more information on that. So attack 3-star, midfield 4-star, defense 4-star. The reason why I gave the defense 4-star is because I actually just really enjoyed the defense. I thought the Kieran Gibbs was magnificent, and before we talk about just individual players and like defense, midfield, attack, I thought the left-hand side of this team was fantastic, and I felt the right-hand side of this team was just non-existent, and that goes from Gibbs, Young and Welbeck on the left, who were just brilliant, to Walker, Chamberlain and Defoe on the right, who were just absolutely non-existent. Now that might well be me and my playstyle within FIFA, but I've played a lot of games this FIFA already, like 300 or more, and I usually go down the right-hand side. You know, when I play with players like Messi and Robin, I typically go down the right-hand side to try and abuse those guys. In this team, I tried to naturally play the game. Always when I do the best team in FIFA, I try to be as natural as I can and not forced to play through any particular person or side or style or anything like that. And it was just natural that the ball kept going towards the left-hand side. It's a shame for me because obviously as an Arsenal fan I would have wanted Oxlade-Chamberlain to be really good, and he just wasn't. He was just absolutely non-existent throughout all 5 games that I played. We did manage to pick 5 wins up out of 5. I thought Barkley was quite hit and miss. You saw him score a really nice goal for me there. Lovely fake shot in the box, followed by the drag back, and got the space to take the shot. He scores another goal a bit later on, which was, again, a really nice finish. But other than those two finishes, he really didn't do much for the team, which was so disappointing. And Defoe's very much the same. Defoe got into a few good positions, and for a guy with 85 shooting, I thought he was going to be the star striker. He was such a letdown, which is why the attack's 3-star, because I think he actually scored 4 goals in the 5 games, but I think maybe 2 or 3 of them came in one game. He just didn't do anything. He was just so non-existent. It was crazy. I don't like as well the fact that the attack has no 4-star skillers. I don't like that only the wingers have 4-star skills. You know, literally only Young and Chamberlain are the guys with 4-star skill moves. So there's room for improvement in this team for sure. I think for the value that you pick it up for, because it is a super cheap team. You know, especially if you like replace Joe Hart in net. There's definitely, you know, there's cheaper players that you can get, but I think the fact that this team is super cheap, that you can actually improve this team quite easily with not a lot of coins. I think like there's not necessarily even English players, but just BPL players in general. You know, you could get perhaps a Wayne Rooney in there. I actually think Steven Gerrard might be good to put in this team. You know, it just there's just a lot of room for improvement with this team, basically. Saying that, the team did play very well, and I did get 5 wins out of 5, but I conceded quite a few goals. Even though the defence I've given 4-star, I did concede a few goals, and that was just due to the fact that they are low rated, so every now and then they're going to make mistakes. They're going to, you know, they're not going to be in the best position to defend, and they're going to, you know, be outstrengthed, and there's basically a lot that goes on with low-rated players this year. I think for the 2nd year running, I think EA have got it bang on with player ratings. I think the higher-rated players perform much better than the lower rated players, which is how it should be in my opinion. In previous FIFAs that hasn't necessarily been the case. In FIFA 14 and FIFA 13 for example, I had a lot of teams that were low rated that I would pick 10 times out of 10 over a high rated team. In FIFA 15 I would only really use high rated teams, and in FIFA 16 it seems to be very similar. You know, like I only really want and I'm only really interested in the higher rated players. They just perform better, and I think this year as well there's things that can be said and can be taken from players with really good hidden attributes, like the finesse shot trait, like skill dribbler, speed dribbler. I think those things are again really important, you know, the power header trait, things like that. I think the traits and specialities are very relevant, very important this year, and I think 4-star skill moves, 4-star weak foot or better, or you know, as good as you can get, I think they're very relevant this year. I think specific stats for specific people are very relevant this year, and I say that in kind of a situation where I think strikers that have just really good shooting will be really good. I say that and then I tell you that Defoe's not very good, or at least didn't perform for me. That's not necessarily not very good, but he didn't perform for me. But yeah, I don't know. There's a lot to be said for strikers with crazy good finishing, and you know, midfielders with crazy good passing, and defenders with crazy good defending. And I think like the stat that's relevant to the player this year is going to be huge for people. So yeah, I did enjoy this team. I felt like I gave Danny Welbeck the best player on the team because he just scored the most goals and he was just in the best positions all the time, and that is a beautiful goal that he scored there. But I also think Ashley Young and Kieran Gibbs in this team were outstanding. Like, Ashley Young was unbelievable. I didn't like him last year in FIFA, although I've loved him in previous years. In this game, his 4-star skill moves, his good pace and dribbling, and his decent finishing, even though he doesn't have great free kicks or long shots, his finishing is very good still. I just find him to be an absolute like hassle on the left hand side. You'll see a few runs that I make with him, maybe we've already seen a few, where I use like shielding to bump off the player. I actually think you see one just in this move here. I use shielding to bump off the player with Ashley Young, and it's crazy how much strength he's got, considering he doesn't really have much strength in game. So he does a really good job there. And just in general, I was impressed with the left-hand side, and I was not impressed with the right-hand side, although Defoe scored an absolute banger there. Pops it up off his left foot, hits it on the volley into the back of the net. Absolutely happy days. And as I said, Defoe didn't really come alive for me until a couple of games. In the last game, he scored 2 goals. In this game, he picked up 2 goals. Danny Welbeck feeds it through, and this is where his finishing does truly shine. I smashed it as hard as I could to that near post. It ends up popping in the back of the net, and it's a great finish. But overall, I was just really... He didn't do for me what I thought he would do for me. So this team, guys, it's worth a try. It will definitely get you through the lower divisions. I would say after the lower divisions, you're going to probably struggle a little bit with this. Maybe by Division 4, Division 5, you're going to have made upgrades to this team because it's going to start really hurting your appearance, like the way you play. As you see there, Danny Welbeck, 6 goals. Gibbs and Young with 3 each. Ross Barkley with those 2. Jermaine Defoe did get 4. 2 assists from Gibbs, Young, Defoe, Welbeck. 1 assist from Hart. 1 assist from Jagielka. 1 assist from Jordan Henderson. And 1 assist from Oxlade-Chamberlain. So the assists came from all over the pitch. The goals mainly from that left-hand side. Gibbs, Young, and Welbeck picking up the most goals for the team. But this is going to be the end of the video, guys. So if you did enjoy this, be sure to leave a like rating, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. But for now, guys, I'm out. Peace.